In 1798, Napoleon Bonaparte stood before the Great Pyramid of Giza with 40,000 soldiers. What they found inside changed history forever. In 1798, Napoleon Bonaparte didn't just bring soldiers to Egypt. He brought 167 scientists, engineers, and scholars. This wasn't just a military campaign. It was the largest scientific expedition the world had ever seen. When Napoleon's men entered the Great Pyramid, they expected treasure. Gold. Jewels. The riches of the pharaohs. Instead, they found something far more valuable. The chambers were empty. No gold. No treasure. Just massive granite blocks, perfectly fitted together with a precision that modern engineers still can't fully explain. The stones weighed up to 80 tons each, transported from quarries over 500 miles away. But here's what really shocked them. Inside the king's chamber, they discovered that the pyramid was aligned to true north with an accuracy of 3/60th of a single degree. This was more precise than the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, which was considered the pinnacle of European engineering. Napoleon himself spent a night alone inside the king's chamber. When he emerged the next morning, his officers asked what happened. His face was pale. He started to speak, then stopped himself. He said, quote, "You would never believe me." He never spoke of that night again. Not even on his deathbed. But the real discovery wasn't inside the pyramid. It was half a mile away. A French soldier named Pierre-François Bouchard was digging foundations for a fort near the town of Rosetta. His shovel hit something hard. He pulled out a black stone covered in 3 different scripts. This was the Rosetta Stone. And it would become the single most important archaeological discovery in human history. It took 23 years, but a young French scholar named Jean-François Champollion finally cracked the code. For the first time in over 1,000 years, humanity could read Egyptian hieroglyphics. Everything we know about ancient Egypt, the pharaohs, the gods, the wars, the daily lives of ordinary people, we know because one soldier's shovel hit a rock in the mud. Napoleon lost the military campaign in Egypt. The British Navy destroyed his fleet, and he eventually fled back to France. But those 167 scholars he brought along? They spent 3 years documenting every temple, every inscription, every artifact they could find. They published their findings in a massive work called the Description de l'Egypte. It took 20 years to complete and filled 23 volumes. This single expedition launched the entire field of Egyptology. Without Napoleon's failed invasion, we might still not be able to read hieroglyphics. The treasures of Tutankhamun's tomb, the stories of Cleopatra, the engineering marvels of the pyramids, all of it might still be locked behind an unreadable language. Sometimes the most important discoveries in history come not from victory, but from failure. Napoleon went to Egypt to conquer. Instead, he accidentally unlocked one of humanity's greatest mysteries. And as for what happened to Napoleon inside that pyramid? Whatever he experienced in the darkness of the king's chamber, he carried it with him to his grave. We will never know. If you found this fascinating, subscribe for more stories like this. We post new videos every week.